Okay, and we are good to go. What's up, everybody? This is Cornell W from the HVA Music Blog here with episode 5 of Playlist Penpals turning friends into strangers. Oh, wait. See, got to flip it around. Turning strangers into friends. One playlist at a time. Today we have People's People. Everybody give a virtual hoorah. Well, next time, I need to get party poppers or something. I think that would spice it up a little bit, don't you think? Or just I don't know. We'll go
The little sound,
all right. Just get a couple. Just get my roommates to just come in here and just scream, and then be like, "All right, get the fuck out of here." But yeah, wonderful. Thank you a ton for hopping on this episode with us, and always like to start off proper, right? Roll out the red carpet to you, get the elevator pitch. Who are you? You know where you're from, blood type, zodiac sign, etc., etc.
sick. Well, I go by people for my artist name, but my real name's Emily. I'm from Indiana, small Amish town, and moved to Chicago 5 days before everything shut down from the pandemic. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's been kind of an interesting ride. Really great community though. As soon as things started opening back up, I immediately met like Stephen Royale, Matt Harrison, all of those people that do the party in the park. So it's been a really good experience. The artist side, I've done a lot of like house, bass house kind of sets. Been dabbling a little bit into D&B, which is always fun. Um, and then from a personal standpoint, I love R&B a lot. So I'm constantly banging that stuff. But thanks for having me on here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I caught, of course, the conversation here is going to be all about the music that you listen to. So I've definitely been going through your playlist, and it's interesting. Same situation with you. I not kind of like near the tail end of the pandemic. I moved out here to the city. With Dave. So I can't call him Black anymore. David Black. He's had his big rebrand. So yeah, we moved down here, and before I came out here, actually, I was a big just like I was a suburb kid. So I was anything in and around the city. I was like, I'm not. The traffic is it's too much. The lights, the buildings are too big. So I just didn't like coming to the city. But I gave it a chance. I was like, let's move out here for a year, see how it goes, and now I'm in it. I've been, same situation. You go out to one event and honestly an afters or two and you meet fucking everybody. And like you're saying, everybody's so loving and accommodating. It makes it really to kind of you know, set your home flag here. So how do you, as far as Indiana goes, do you still I think I did see a couple of shows that you had um recently even, right? Out in Indiana.
Yeah, I just did my first headliner show actually
Ooh, spicy.
called The Rabbit Hole.
Okay. Oh
Um,
yeah, I did see that. That's awesome. Yeah. So give me the
yeah.
rundown of that because the whole aesthetics of all of that just looked awesome.
Oh, it was crazy. It was actually a cosplay event.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Oh,
and I've been to some cosplay events in Chicago, but like indie, they're like in it.
they're in it.
Like,
Yeah, yeah. But, like this is. I think this is the actual character here. I think we were like dead. That's awesome though. Did you cosplay? Did you dress up?
no, I don't know how to, but I'm going to try next time.
Oh yeah, man. I'll send you. Hey, it doesn't matter what I'm pretty sure. I don't think cosplay is just. I mean, I guess technically cosplay would still be like stuff like Western, like animation, like Superman, superheroes like that too. But I'll send you some anime. You gotta go. You gotta full send it. If you're gonna
I
do
would
it,
love.
you gotta do it right. You gotta do it. Dress you up as like, I don't know, like Sephiroth or something from Final Fantasy. That'd be awesome. Get you a big like sword or something like that.
Oh hell yeah! My brother started watching anime with me, trying to get me into it, and I'm on like season 3 or something of Naruto. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's standard. I mean, I think not I, it's definitely not going to be for everybody, but I think the what some people probably don't know is that anime there's so many this is an alarming amount. There are anime that's just about people just going to school and that's just fucking it. It's almost like the way I think about it. Like there's even like shows like have you ever heard like what is it True Detective on HBO?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, there's just like anime like that. It's just like somebody died in this town, and we need to find out who it is, and that's just it. It's just animated. Like there's no like, and then the spirit bomb or some. I did a command mail. I was like, nah, it's just like somebody died, and we need to find it out, and this is gonna scar me probably for the rest of my life. So
Yeah.
It's a deep rabbit hole. And you know, one big thing I did wanted to ask you too is the name. So where that it's I don't
People's people.
yeah, yeah. It just seems like really like community driven. Like what's the backdrop behind that?
Yeah, so my friend Melanie actually came up with the name. We went to grad school together for human resources. So, like, you're supposed to be like the people's people for HR, but everybody. So it was kind of a joke at first, and then it just kind of stuck and fit my personality. So I decided to roll with it.
Oh, okay, awesome. And you know, I think that's a perfect jumping off point into one of the playlists because they're one of the playlists I actually went through. And I don't know, the best way that I can describe it is I started to get maybe this is just all your playlists as a whole. There seems to be a lot of energies that you're tapping into. Of course, I would assume, you know, sonically too as well. Now, would you say maybe even when you're doing like a set, does that idea of community and inclusiveness and like I said, just spreading that energy, like if there's 15 different types of energies in the room, right? Are you kind of setting yourself up to go, okay, all 15 of you motherfuckers, I need you up and moving like right now?
Yeah, I'm a big dancer too when I spin, so I'm like kind of goofy, and so I like that kind of style really hypes me. Um, and I really just like weird switch ups a lot. Anything like a weird or like dirty bass line, I'm sold.
Same. I definitely lean more closer to especially when it comes to like 4/4, like the heavier stuff. Because I came into my interest in EDM kind of started a little bit like backwards. I think some people probably ease into it a little bit, but I immediately was getting into stuff like Borgore and stuff like that. And just
Same.
yeah, just like because I listened to a lot of like metalcore and like metal music in high school. So, you know, stuff like Borgore and stuff, especially even something like, you know, just a genre of rhythm, that's just a gent breakdown the whole time. Just dun. So I'm like, I know that sounds familiar to me. And then, you know, I grew up on house, but I've always definitely been into a heavier sound here. And yeah, all of your, I think maybe minus one of the playlists you send me, like they're all kind of really heavy. The vibey tunes definitely is more a little bit more melodic. I want to save that for a little bit later because I think there's an interesting conversation in and around that one. So let's go into bass house. So when it comes to my preferred consumption of, like, I guess you could say, 4 to the floor music. Bass house is like, you know, and that's why, you know, I connected so close with Dave because definitely when we first came down here, Dave was like, you know, the louder the better. You know, he's I'm if I whenever I've done a back to back with him, he's like setting the monitors in the booth to fucking 50. And I'm like, dude, I get it, but I'm not where you're at just yet. I can still kind of hear. And Dave's fucking cranking it. So when it comes to bass house, how does that would you say you probably lean more into the heavier sound, or would you say it's more of a balance between the heavier stuff and more of the melodic, you know, lofty?
Definitely, definitely heavier side. I think the two artists that really got me into like more of the housey side was AC Slater and Joy. So both are like pretty heavy bass house. I think AC Slater's like cruised more towards the bouncy stuff lately, but his vibe overall is just crazy insane. His sound design is
Yeah,
I can't even.
absolutely. When I first got into him, he was making trap. So
Yeah,
yeah, I know. Yeah, I know now. It is kind of interesting to see like artists evolve. Not even really even just to hop on a trend, but just to. It's almost like 'cause if I was kind of on that level of production, to where it's almost like you're not even really. I don't even say, you know, producer. Of course, is the blanket term, but you're down there like a sound engineer. You know, people
yeah,
like Skrillex and stuff like that. Those are people I would put like you just have just such a deep understanding of just sound in general. You can kind of make whatever, but still kind of, you know, mix it up a little bit, make it sound like I know when I hear like AC Slater, even listening to some of your playlists, I'm like, oh yeah, that's
perfect genre too to mix into. You can go like the house route, or you can even try to slip in some like UK stuff with it. Feeling yourself a lot too. You can get into that wubby, like baseline kind of stuff too. So it's like the best BPM range to really like have some crazy switch ups.
yeah. And I would even say that's probably why, you know, there's something that makes you so great because I try to lean into the same thing. It's not just about what do if I was out there right now in the crowd, what would I, want to hear? What would get me, wanting to dance and stuff? So, and of course, there's the art of it too. Like, if you're not dancing with me, then I don't know what to tell you. But also, as a performer, especially when you're getting paid, it's like, all right,
Right.
I, I might have to play for the room a little bit. But yeah, that's absolutely. So with how do you feel about going back to with UKG? So how do you I can see the little I thought it was gonna be techno summer, to be honest. I thought techno was gonna push house down a little bit and then everybody's just gonna be 150, 160, just doom, doom, doom. But I definitely see this rise of DMB as well. Yeah, what's your thoughts on UKG, and do you kind of see it not only just playing a big part in Chicago's music and house scene, but like the way that you approach sets and the type of music you put in your sets?
Yeah, so I really like the UK stuff when it's especially like earlier sets when you're trying to get the crowd going a little bit more. And I'm trying to play a little bit heavier of a set. It's nice to like kind of start out with the UK stuff. UK garage is crazy good too, but it has been crazy because they've had a lot of the like European artists coming to the US a lot more to play, especially in Chicago too. So uh, I know Kiefer Ian. He's a really great producer, really great DJ. That he's really into the UK stuff. He actually just played at Spy Bar
Oh, really?
last week, which is like huge because usually it's pretty like house or like techno-y kind of focused.
Yeah, that's always been like after hours like energy, but like it's not after hours. It's still like regular time.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why I love Spy though. Yeah, and I can definitely relate when you because UKG is really flexible too because there are like
yeah,
heavier more baseline centric tracks that you can find, but then you can also get that smooth just yeah, you've got the formula. Yeah, so I think
it's a good one because it's so easy to dance to.
oh yeah, yeah.
Got your friends who don't even like.
So what's your like go-to dance move? Is it like it's something specific? Are you like you said professional? So I'm assuming you're not just up there just you know,
Oh,
like Ezra, like we talk about somebody dancing like he's in my top five.
yeah, I'm trying to work on shuffling, but
Oh, okay.
that's for like back of the crowd stuff.
Hey,
Because
hey, better than me. I can't shuffle. I can like most dances. I can make it look like I'm about to start doing it really good, and then that's just it. Like even like breakdancing, I know how to do whatever the fuck this thing is to where it looks like I'm about to hop in the crowd and like do a spin, but I'm not gonna do anything. Like I can just do that. So I can get people excited, but then then as long as okay, everybody turn around so you don't get disappointed, and then we'll kind of end them at yeah.
that's good hype man energy though.
Oh yeah, man. I like yelling stuff at people. That's a favorite thing. Probably if a combo with us would be like you be dancing, I'm like yelling, and it's like everybody else. You see what we're doing right now, so try to be as nice as possible. Of course, say please, be polite. Always make sure I'm managing my manners right. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, I love that heavy stuff so much. Yeah, that's a big thing with me too. I just whatever. If I would never play something that I wouldn't want to dance to. Of course, sometimes, you get caught in a certain type of gig in a situation and it's like, hey, somebody's buying up a couple tables. Can we hear, Tennessee
Yeah,
Tennessee whiskey? It's like, dude, what? Like a remix? Funny story. Have you ever heard of now I thought it was a meme. I thought people were fucking with me. Country this it's apparently it's a country rhythm.
yeah,
So I had been hearing that for in and around when it came out for like months. I thought it was a meme. I thought it was like, haha, I'm gonna play some country rhythm. Like I don't know, like some Taylor Swift like remix. Like I thought it was a joke or something like that. I didn't know it was an actual song. So fast forward a couple months, I was playing a St. Patty's gig. And somebody came up and was like, hey, oh no, actually, I think it was somebody on the lineup and I was managing it. So they had like 10 minutes of their set left. It's like, during the day, St. Patty's, nothing crazy. So I'm like, hey, dude, man, you got 10 minutes left. Fuck it. Go ahead. I'm kind of fucking with him. Hey, why don't you play some country rhythm? So I thought that was like a genre or something. I didn't know it was an actual song. So, about 1:30, bunch of late 30s, early 40s people. My man just starts ripping. Like, I thought it was good. Like I said, I thought it was a genre. I didn't know country rhythm was like the fire starter. Like, this was the song to. Long story short, the GM came up to me. He's like, "It is way too early, and these people are way too drunk for this. They're gonna hurt themselves. Can you can you play some house?" Like, I was like, I'm looking at him, I was like, I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. I had no idea this was a real song, but you live and you learn. But
Yeah, that song goes hard.
yeah, it's absolutely, like I said, I listen to rhythm. I love rhythm.
Yeah.
But country rhythm is like a little, there's like rhythm, and then there's, like I said, it's like, ooh, like if you really like it's time for somebody to die, and like these people are too old for this. Like, somebody's gonna have a heart attack. Yeah, awesome. So here, let's keep that energy going with the heavier beats here. So dirty bits. So like I said, going through the playlist, lot of different energies, right? How are you kind of managing? I would, just like any artist, right? Your sound is always evolving and growing and changing. Are there ways or steps that you're taking now to kind of accommodate? Do you find yourself moving towards, the heavier side, or going a little bit lighter? We kind of started this conversation a little bit, but I definitely want to dig more deeper into it.
Yeah, I've kind of been like in between lately, like between the harder stuff and more of like the bouncier side. But what I've realized, the more songs I add to my library, the harder it is to sort things out.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm like a back to back or off the fly. It's definitely made it a little bit harder to keep that same energy matched. So I've started like breaking down my playlist into like dark bass house, bouncy bass house.
No, those that same. I think subgenres are just, and I think it kind of helps, especially if you want to kind of, like you were saying, like hop around, and maybe you're starting at one type of energy and you want to move it up or go down. And of course, looking at the BPM only take you so far before you kind of sitting there and wondering yourself, like, oh, this is all, man. Like, I gotta.
Right. Or having to pull a song out really quick because people aren't really vibing with that kind of, like they're not at that energy level yet.
Hmm.
Helped me so much in like just overall curation and being able to like read the room a little bit better and be more proactive when I'm making my sets. So I definitely feel like I've grown a little bit, but if it's my choice, I always want to go to the heavy.
Yeah, that's exactly. I don't know. You reading my mind. That's exactly what my follow up question was gonna be. Like, what? Yeah, what would be that preference for you? And yeah, same. I guess it kind of depends on. I can definitely be in different situations and play to the space. Um, but sometimes I at least try to find a couple of songs that might make people kind of turn around and go. If they weren't paying attention, they might turn around and go, "All right, what the fuck are you doing, dude?" So just, a couple, just like, "All right, I saw, all right, just seeing if there are any real headbangers here, but never mind. I'll pull it back. All right, here you go. We can pull it back down." So with that sound though, are there any like specific like venues or even like festivals and stuff that you might be looking into? I know even when it comes to Chicago, definitely we're really heavy centric towards house. It is honestly house or open format. I definitely think out in the suburbs and stuff, when you kind of go a little bit more outside of the city, you'll see stuff like Bay Station, things like that. You start to get into that heavier sound. But are there any like like little checklists, like, all right, I'm gonna go there, I'm going here. You got your itinerary.
Yeah, so for like festivals, definitely North Coast. That's always my radar. I love that festival. It's so diverse in music. And last year there was a crazy like variation of um, genres there, and a lot of them surprised me. like Flux Pavilion just actually killed
Yeah, that
their
was great.
set.
Yeah, last year
Yeah,
was my first time going to North Coast, so that was now. I'm happy to know that I went on a year where it was like, oh, this is kind of a little bit different. Even though I've heard like even back in the day they were having like I don't know if you ever seen like some of like the older like lineups where they would have like
yeah,
rappers and shit show up. It's like what the hell is
yeah.
going on
My
here?
my first North Coast was when Juice World performed there,
Holy shit!
2016, I think, 2017. So it was like one of my first like EDM related festivals. So that one's always kind of like home to me. And then Electric Forest is on my radar. And I'm already planning for next year. If you've never heard of it, you should look it up. It's called Sunset.
Hmm.
It's I think it's in Tampa, somewhere in Florida, but their lineup is crazy too. They had like Shiba San, AC Slater, Alice in Wonderland, just a crazy. Honestly, it was my dream lineup when I went, and I'm planning on going back again.
I mean, I don't blame. I mean, Florida in general is a waking dream. I went
Yeah.
to the first time about 2 years ago, and it's kind of like if you went like Chicago, but everybody was just like, you know what? What if we kind of just didn't have like a lot of laws? It's like, what do you mean? Like, what if just like a lot of stuff was just legal and we were, and they were like, a lot of animals walking around and stuff, or like birds? Like, maybe. How would you feel
The
about that? It's like sounds like Florida to me. I was like, it is Florida. So yeah, that was the sudden it rains out there like out here too, to where like 1 second is just completely shiny, like sunny, and then the next second is you just drowning in rain, and then it's not raining. But then again, the cool thing was the weather was always so nice when we were there that we were always in like fucking swim outfits anyway. So it was just like I was gonna get wet anyway. I guess you kind of just you read my mind and you just took me there already. So did you go any like clubbing in around there when you were there? Outside of the festivals?
I didn't when I went to Sunset, but I've been going to the Miami Music Week
Mm.
events. So this past March was my second one, and yeah, super cool setup. I didn't do the whole ultra thing, but there was just constant shows. There's this
I'm getting
bar.
I'm getting tired thinking.
Yeah,
It sounds like an adventure.
yeah. There's this bar, Mangoes.
Hmm.
Had like two separate rooms every day from like noon until like 4. It was just packed. It was crazy. But Miami Music Week is, if you're in the music industry or wanting to make music friends, highly recommend going. I went to a couple of podcasts there. They did like live podcasts, and they also did like feedback sessions and demo submissions that you could do. So I know Bijou had one. Um, there was a couple others who had them as well, but super crazy community. I got to meet Wookie there.
Oh,
He's
really?
like in my top 5, so I was had like my first fangirl moment.
Hmm.
But yeah, that also on my radar for next year too.
Yeah, that's awesome. I actually didn't know that they were doing like all those workshops and stuff. I of course everybody's a
Yeah,
bunch of degenerates. I'm just seeing people partying until fucking 5 o'clock in the morning. So I didn't hear about anything about the actual positive activities going on down there.
yeah, it's like a whole separate kind of like event thing
Hmm.
that goes on the entire week. Um, and if you look it up, they have like a whole website. They'll drop all of the events going on, and you can sort it by like festival type or like clubby type of stuff, or like the podcasts, the demo submissions, the feedback sessions. And it's like labels have their own specific parties too. So if you're really into like Black Book
Mm.
or Confession, they have like their own takeover of like their popular artists and a lot of their new and upcoming artists too. So it's super good exposure to find some um, new talent to follow too.
Yeah, and that actually brings up a question in my head. Because I don't think I've ever asked anybody, and I'm not even sure if there's an answer to this, but definitely wanted to see if you can provide some insight. So the way that I've kind of seen, because each I guess community and genre of music, they almost kind of have like a special way that they kind of consume the art form. And when it comes to EDM, it's not even to me. It kind of seems like people aren't really specifically, unless they're really big, latching on to individual artists. It's more like to like, I fuck with this label, and whatever, and like whatever kind of comes out of this, out of this pipeline is kind of where I put my sensor on. And then, not saying you aren't going to listen to anything else, but like rather than being like I'm into like this artist or that artist, it's like I like, night bass or something like that, right? So is there any, am I making sense? Does it sound like
Yeah.
conspiracy theories? All right.
Yeah, so I definitely agree with that. I do like when I'm looking for songs to add to my playlists or stuff like that, I do look up like labels first, but then I'm like a big like SoundCloud girly.
All right.
I for hours every week. So I always find some like underground artists that either have like one or two songs out or only have like 50 likes, but I'll listen to their stuff and then you can see like you may like this artist. So then I'll just go
Yeah,
down a rabbit.
that's the rabbit hole I tried because I'm a big like getting lost on the YouTube recommended videos and person. So SoundCloud is the same way. So for anybody who doesn't know, you can, if you find a song that you like, it'll have related tracks. And to be honest, they're pretty they're on point. And then if you're an active DJ, then the problems start. Now you're stuck with, I'm a big like, lucky for me, my computer has a bunch of memory. I'm a big tabs person. So I just have like fucking 30 fucking
Yep.
tabs of songs I found. And like, I'm not even gonna download them because you gotta download and label them. So they just kind of just sit there and, knock on wood, but every blue moon something crashes or something. And then all those songs just disappear. And I'm like, no, I can't, so.
Yeah, it's crazy. SoundCloud has also linked with Hype Edit. So for like any like bootlegs or edits people do that they can't put on like Spotify, you can find them on SoundCloud. And when you go to download them, it will link to Hype Edit, which is basically like a free download for music that you can't like call your own.
Yeah, fine. Which
Yeah,
is,
so you'll find crazy remixes on
oh
there.
no, trust me, I have way too many Sexy Red remixes. Too many, too many. I have remixes that like, I have some songs on there like I just know that I'm most likely never gonna find a time to play it. But when I do, like, I don't know who needs a hard techno, Sexy Red remix that switches into dubstep, but I'll find my I'll find my community eventually, right?
That sounds like a fun song.
Oh no, I'll send it to you. It is it's a song. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. It's definitely energy, right? But yeah, let's keep talking about energies and vibes here. Last playlist. So vibey tunes. So I don't know why, but when I was going through this playlist, I'm just like thinking the Boiler Room. I don't know
Yeah.
why I was thinking of Boiler Room. Maybe there's just the vibes I was picking up, but it kind of like, at least a lot of the Boiler Room sets that I listen to, especially in that genre of music, they match up with the songs that you kind of have in this playlist. Personally, for me, one of my favorite ones, and for people who do watch Boiler Room, they will know what I'm talking about. But the Kate one, where like
Oh,
it's just a perfect like example of just like Boiler Room sets, like great music, great people. There's some people there with great vibes. There are people there that are just absolutely just way too close, like back up, dude. So as far as like Boiler Room sets, are there any ones that you kind of go to? Definitely ones that you just like have on repeat.
um, not specifically. I think I recently listened to Sammy Virgie. He did kind of like a Boiler Room set. That's like the most recent one that I've listened to. He always crushes it too.
Oh yeah, I mean the versatility too.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane. Actually, I really like, because that was something I did see on one of the playlists. It wasn't his counting remix, but artists even like Taiki New Light.
Yeah.
So might be a controversial opinion here, but which of the counting remixes do you like the most? Unless you're original type of person.
Which of the what?
Counting. So Hamdi's counting. I'll say it first because I'll be honest with you. The Taiki one is my favorite. That's
Yeah.
that's my. I mean, I love the original, but I remember because I had another remix from him that I can't think of the name of, but I was just on his IG, and then when he first dropped, because I think he dropped it at a festival first, and he showed a preview of it. I'm like, I need this, and when it finally came out, I'm like, okay, I love heavy, crank it up, let's fucking, let's break something, but just that deep, just like, ugh,
Yeah.
so that remix is gross. And personally, for me, I like it. Whenever I play, it's the one that I play. So
Thanks. I'm like more into the original, but I have to like I'm gonna have to go back and re-listen to that one because I'm not sure if I have like fully heard it.
yeah,
The tacky.
I've like at this point. I mean, I still love like heavy stuff, but sometimes the more like it's still heavy, but it's like a deep, like just stank face, just like we're all
Oh
like, okay, let's go. Five more shots of Malort. Come on, let's do this. Let's do this right now. Like, so
my
that's
lord, crazy.
yeah. My cousin knows somebody that like, cause it's like recreational for me. Like, if we're gonna drink Malort, it is what it is. Um, but my cousin's friend is actually like a, I guess you could whatever I get you could say connoisseur. I don't know if connoisseur and Malort goes together, but they like make she like soaks like candy canes in Malort and makes like candy cane Malort. But it turns like blood red and stuff. And I remember once they brought it out, she's like, "Hey, you want some?" I'm like, "Get a spell put on me. I'm gonna wake up in a video game tomorrow. I'm not drinking that. What?" Like I couldn't even. I don't even like stuff like Rumble Mint, so there's no way I'm drinking ugh, mint
Yeah, Rumble
mint Malort.
for
Yeah,
like good 5 minutes.
yeah. For people who don't know, Malort is Chicago decided that it'd be cool to just put actual petrol in a bottle and just go, here you go, drinking if you want to have fun. It's not fun. It's not fun, guys. So, but if you come to Chicago, definitely drink it. Definitely, I think it's always a go to for me. But I'm fair. Like if I'm gonna ask somebody, I like to trick. I'm not gonna tell you it's Malort, but if I'm gonna take one, then if I'm gonna give you one, then I'm gonna take one too. And fair game. I'm a good friend. I'm not mean.
I do the same thing. I never get heads up though.
Oh yeah, there was no. That eliminates the fun about it. You got to. So let's go here. So let's see. We have gotten to the end of the playlist, but I definitely want to open up the floor one more time into because I think, like I said, I've done a couple of these up to now, and I think with yours, this was the first time where I actually wanted was interested kind of where your name came from because it really does seem. And now I know it was very intentful. Um, so when it comes to community, how important is that, especially for like shows that you throw or that you're a part of? What does that kind of look like for you, especially approaching it as an artist? Because there's just so many different personalities out here in the scene, and to kind of try to etch out your own space, but still kind of be a part of everything that's going on. Kind of, I know sometimes can seem like a challenge.
Yeah, community is huge for me. I think I've only done like only thrown two shows. Um, and, well, one I did with a DJ named Rainy. She does like Jersey kind of music, and really for that, I mean, we could have both played 2 hours each, and had a good time. But for me, it's like if I'm eating, I want everybody else to eat too. So anytime I try to play or have something going on to where I can slide in somebody else or potentially do a back to back with them, I'm always game for that. I love back to back so much.
Yeah, I
But
think there's some people that don't. Apparently, I'm a big jazz fan, and playing back to backs is the closest that I'll get to like call a response, like that whatever call and response, pretty much. And it's fun. It's almost like It depends on who I'm playing with. If I don't really know you, then it's okay. Let me see what vibe you're setting. I'm gonna match your vibe. But if I know you,
Oh,
then it's like, all right, let's see you get find out how to get out of this track, motherfucker. Like, that
right.
completely switching the mood up. And I'm like, I know I would have a hard time transitioning out of this. So let me see what you got, man. For
Yeah. I think the whole scene is like built off of community and like good vibes and really trying to support each other. So like doing that and making sure that I show up for my friends too who are doing the same stuff or throwing events. It's definitely been a little bit harder with how much I've been traveling lately, but always like I always try to do my best to support whatever my friends have going on, whether it's doing feedback sessions, listening to their tunes, or popping out to the shows that they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's just more fun that way. Some
Yeah,
people like to ride solo, but it's like nice to fucking make like you said, everybody eats and you get to eat with your homies. I think that's just a dream goal right there, right?
right. And it's like a little more diverse. Like you can find songs you would have never even thought about. Then it's like, yo, I'll trade some of my tunes if you trade some of yours. Trade is the best.
Just let me borrow your USB, bro. It'd be cool. I'll give it back. I promise. How many
Yeah, I do
USB?
that.
How many USBs do you have?
Oh my God. I probably like 15, 20. But my problem is that I historically have lost my USBs. So I'm trying to get a little bit better with that, but I always come with like 3 or 4 USBs just in
Yeah,
case.
not gonna wood again. I don't know. It's just maybe it's the moment thing. Like I just get done, and then the last thing I'm thinking about usually is, all right, time to get my USB. It's just like I'm done, and then whoever's probably playing after me is doing a great job. So I'm just still dancing and stuff, and I'll just fucking walk away. And then I'm at home, and I'm just wake up in the middle like, fuck, is it there? No. It's like, oh, okay. Well,
That
that was
happens to me too.
it's like that was my
Especially
sexy red USB
if I'm
anyway. So
like behind waiting to get your USB.
no.
It's like I, I hate doing that.
I mean, I'm just happy it's just only been normal up to now. I've heard horror stories of people just coming up and just straight up just snatching people's USBs right out of the fucking deck. Yeah, like I like in a situation like that, nobody wants to get banned or you know
Right? They're
have
not that
negative press on them, but it might be time to fight. Cause, dude, what? That's almost kind of like I don't know. I'm like in my car and somebody just kind of comes and just says, "Yeah, you don't need that," and I'm just like, dude, fucking car keys back, bro.
yeah. They're like $20 a pop.
Right? Like, come on now, do better. No, I'm kidding. One of these days, I'm just gonna have just specific names. It's just not gonna be a guess. I'm just gonna come on here and just start airing out dirty laundry. So fantastic, fantastic. So I would say I think we might have gotten to the end here. But like I always tell everybody, gonna have you on again. I kind of see playlist Penpals is almost kind of like a time capsule, right? What you're listening to today, is it gonna be what you're gonna be listening to a year, 2 years down the line? So it's always nice to kind of look forward to kind of checking on everybody just to see, how everything's changing with their artistry and the music, and specifically even the music they listen to, because I think I've met and been able to connect with a lot of people just simply by just, hey, what's your favorite song or what do you like to listen to? Actually, before I get to the end, what's a song that you're into right now that people would be like, what the fuck? I wouldn't say a guilty pleasure, but something that's outside of what people might know you for.
So this is like way off the way off the cusp. It's called oh shoot. It's by Grind Mode. So High by Grind Mode.
What genre is
It's like
that?
it's like R&B ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are more, especially when we were talking about UKG. Those are the usually, especially if I find like a remix, R&B remixes and UKG. It's like so
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
love them so much. Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
lock into that grind mode. Is it like Neo
It's like
type? Like aren't like what like because I hear grind mode and I'm like,
no, it's less sexual, but it's like a 90s ish. early 2000s
Mm.
club kind of R&B.
Okay. Like Usher?
Kind of.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up. I got you. Just
Yeah,
that's just gonna
they
be
have songs, but they're
no.
that
The
one
name
is
alone, I'm just like, because not even like the sexual. When I heard grind mode, I'm thinking of like metal core or something
yeah,
like something heavy. So the fact that Megan R&B, I gotta check that
yeah,
out. I gotta check that out. Here, man. Type that in my notes too. I'm serious. People send me people really like. There's a lot of people that send me music and they go, "Oh, you're probably not gonna listen to this." I'm like, no. It's like it's me. I'm
yeah.
gonna
That one
fucking listen to it.
and Booty Free by AC Slater.
Okay.
I don't have it on his Spotify, but I know it's on SoundCloud.
Okay.
It's a good.
Well, I actually put out playlists that go along with each of these episodes. So, if it's not on Spotify, of course, or Apple, I won't be able to add it. But I'll figure out. I'll figure something out. Because I know there's definitely a lot of people that are gonna want to like share like music from like their SoundCloud and stuff. Because like you were saying, right, SoundCloud and Hype Edit and all those, even like Toned In and stuff like that. If you are a DJ looking for some cheap alternatives, that's a because like you were saying, man, there's some people on there. You'll find a song that's the best, some of the best parts of my day, finding a song that slaps, only has like 2,000-3,000 views on it, and like it's even like mastered and like mixed right. And it's like, what the fuck, who the fuck is this guy? But then it's like, nobody, I'm the only person in this city that has this remix. Then everybody,
Yeah,
then then everybody's really respectful. It's like, okay, that's your song. It's like, all right. But if you ask me for an ID, I'll give it to you, but you better every time you better play it like during your set. So, okay, let me start rambling. Let me stop rambling.
that bad.
Yeah. But yeah, to close out here, always like to close out with the same question. Of course, thank you a ton for coming on the show today. And like always, I have to ask, what would be the perfect playlist to you? Now, to me, a perfect playlist tells a story, something you connect with, maybe even something that you can kind of look back and it kind of reminds you of a point in time for yourself. So that's what a perfect playlist, in my opinion, is. What would be something? It could even be specific songs that you would ask for specific genres or just a vibe.
Yeah, my perfect playlist would be something that I could listen to on like a 5 hour road trip. The energy flows with the trip. So starts out kind of like chill, maybe a couple R&B songs, maybe some like low tempo kind of stuff. And then like once you start
Yeah,
getting to your death,
yeah. I want to
that would
put on my.
be
I'm on my Harley right now. I can see the vision. I got it. I got it. It's absolutely wonderful. So yeah, like I said, thanks a ton for hopping on today. Definitely gonna have, we'll have everything linked in the description there so people know where you're at. But yeah, before we sign off, anything you're working on, anything you want to announce, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, floor is yours. Spotlight.
yeah. Actually am gonna drop an edit on SoundCloud because it's a Gwen Stefani edit that I can't probably get cleared for like summer kind of vibes, which is why I was working on that vibey playlist to kind of give me some inspo. And I have a couple of originals that I've been testing out my vocals on, so gonna drop some of those closer to the end of this.
Yeah. So we so
Been
so, so do we have
working.
some live performances maybe in the future?
I don't know.
Come on, come on.
I'm kind of shy on the mic, but I'm trying to get better at that.
You got to do that and the
Uh,
cosplay at the same time. Just
yeah,
full, just
I
full,
think
just
that would
full circle.
had something like to where I look a little bit different, so
Yeah, we could
nobody
do
can.
like what was it, that show with like the mask or something like that?
Yeah,
Even if there's like pre-show jitters, I mean, nobody can be like who. Yeah, that'll be the whole mystery. Like who's like you DJ and then you just walk off and then you come back and it's just like, what's going on? Who's this person dressed as a giant alligator? What's happening right now? I'm confused.
Yeah.
Well, we'll look
But
forward to it. Like I said, thanks a ton for hopping on. Gonna be on soon. All the information will be over in the description here. And yeah, thanks a ton. Goodbye, you guys. Peace. Till next time. You can find People's playlist by following Playlist Penpals on Instagram at Playlist Penpals HVA. You can also connect with the HVA Music blog via our website at findnewmusichva.com, where you can check out over 600 plus themed playlists, merch, and more. A quick shout out to our partners and producers at No Request Radio Chicago and Roots Recording. I'll have both of their info linked below. Once again, this is your host, Quinn LW, sending good vibes and signing out. Peace.